How are you?
I'm doing well. Is this Sai?
Yes, I'm Sai. Yeah.
Hi, Sai. Love the
Thank you.
hairdo.
Thank
Very
you, man.
interesting. Not many people get my attention, but when I saw that you were doing a lot of video, and I was impressed. I'm in a media network, so I thought, yeah, I'm going to say hi to Sai.
Thank you, Douglas. I have seen your profile. You are a BBS network co-founder. Am I
Correct,
right?
correct.
I
Yes.
saw it. Can you tell
Yeah,
me more about yourself, about BBS network, and about you?
sure. I'm a twin. 50 years old and enjoying life. Been working in building companies for other people up until about 20 years ago. Did very well. Um, but we didn't make any real money, even though we gave 20 years of our life away. So we decided to build our own company in media. And we weren't really interested in media. It just happened. You remember 9/11?
Yeah.
Big. And we were blogging, when blogs were the big thing. And my brother decided that he wanted to take that conversation and talk to people on the phone and tape those conversations. And then it led to let's bring other people in on those conversations. Then it's let's stream these conversations. So it all evolved in around 2003, before there was even blog talk. We were doing a radio on the internet. So we might be one of the very first. I know there was a company that started ahead of us in name, but I don't know if they were actually doing what we were doing as early as we were doing it. So we've been doing this media for about 17 years. And now we have about 120 hours of original programming a week. And we handle some of the biggest wonderful shows in the country. And we have a senator that does a weekly talk show for like 7 years. I don't even know of a TV network in the US that can boast of that. We have big shows that have been on major networks, AM and FM, but the major net. You're gone. We don't like what you said. Those people are coming to us. Um, and the COVID, a lot of people goes into major studios. People walk into major studios to produce their video. And we were always remotely engineering everything. So we got all the business when these larger networks couldn't put people into their studios any longer, right? COVID-19. What are we going to do? We need a group that can handle remotely engineered video and radio, and that's what we specialize in. So it's been a really good growth period for us here. We work nonstop. My brother and I work 100 hours a week, more than banker hours. Believe me, I get no change. But when you're handling 100 different shows, 120 hours a week, you've got to be on top of it. So, and we love what we do.
That's great, man. You didn't said where are you from?
Canada. My brother and I came from Canada. I lived in uh, and we've been traveling between Texas and California and Washington ever since. Now we're in near the Bay Area in San Francisco. Beautiful
Okay,
area. This is
awesome.
where all the
So
high tech occurs.
great. Nice to hear that, man. So you decided to uh, tell your thoughts to the people using your vocal cord.
Well, we wanted to make other smart people more known. There's only so much I could tell you. I'm one person. and we didn't want to really put ourselves out there as much as putting other people out there trying to change the world. You know, people that are metaphysical, spiritual, they understand psychology, or they're interested in maybe UFOs and bringing that understanding to the country, or they're coaches of some kind, whether they're physical or mental coaches. These are the sort of people that, you know, are mainly on our network. We have a lot of we have sports, we have politics, but initially it was to try to bring smart people that were trying to help the world and give them a voice, because media is so difficult. 20 years ago, trying to get in on media was very difficult for people. Now almost anybody can get in on media. So, and there should be more media. Right now, I think the world is dominated by what, 4 or 5 media companies that own 90% of all the media in the world. That means there's no dissenting voices. There's no other opinions. Everybody thinks that if they have 2 opinions, that's the world. Well, the world's made up of a million opinions.
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to bring to people, to show them that, you know, no matter what side of the line you're on, this person has a valid point too. And if we can see all these valid points, we can make better decisions. So it's really an effort to bring about information and to hopefully change lives.
So you have seen world before 20 years and you are seeing world after 20 years. What is the major difference that you observed?
Politics is now more about buying the politicians. There's money involved. There never used to be as much money in politics. Now there is. I see people doing things politically that aren't in the best interests of the people because they believe that the power is more important. You know, no matter if we can get the power, we'll fix things. So whatever we have to do to get the power now will be okay, because with that power, even if we get it in a bad way, we're going to help the world. Well, I don't believe that. I just see that people in the world today are mainly after power because we've made politics about money, and that needs to change. I also see very little people that are afraid to share their opinions. You know, if let's say you're a Republican in the United States, where I'm at, you don't want to walk out on the street and say, I like Trump. That would be really bad, right? Why? Why? I feel like that's terrible. But that's how the media has literally caused everybody to be afraid. Well, even on the COVID-19, that, you know, people are afraid. You know, there was information out there about how we could take care of ourselves, but because money is involved and politics is involved, they didn't do the right things. And that's what I see society doing now. They're not doing the right things, like when we have riots now. Well, these riots are allowed to take place where they're actually harming the neighborhoods. They're not actually out there protesting. These sorts of things now because it's political, not because it's good for the people in the city that it's occurring to, but because it's politically going to help another party get into office. And I worry that the world, what used to occur in third world countries, you know, where you had lots of groups, lots of money making problems so they can benefit, you know, problem, reaction, solution. I create the problem, I put out a reaction, and I tell you I can create the solution. But I was the person who created the problem. And that's how it seems to be going today. So I think that there's got to be voices out there that share more information rather than just the information we're getting on mainstream media, which, by the way, today, you don't hear much unless they want you to. You might, like, for example, in Washington, D.C. yesterday or the day before, 21 people were killed. None of the media said anything about it. One of the biggest mass shootings in the US, and nothing occurred. Nobody's talking about it. Where they'll talk about some person who fell off their bike yesterday in a street before they'll talk about 21 people being killed. That the media is being very selective in what they're telling people. It's dangerous. So now you have media and political organizations together. You know, we saw that through Obama, where he started to weaponize a lot of the political, like the IRS, which takes your taxes. They started to politicize that, where they made an organization that shouldn't be Democrat or Republic or anything. They should just be handling your taxes. But then they weaponized it and they went after conservatives. A government agency that went after a political party. That doesn't make a lot of sense. That's scary. So our world's entering into a scary situation. Here's another scary situation. Globalism. Well, what is globalism? Well, to me, it's just another layer of government. Like you have governments from the local level, the city, the state, the country. You add another word on, it's global. So it's farther away from the people. What we see is a theme where everybody tries to be controllable when we should be allowing for everybody to be doing their own thing. Kind of like, let me give you an example. I would rather have 100 countries all doing something different and be allowed to do something different so I can learn from those differences. So I can decide which political environment or which cultural environment is better. So you're allowing for them all. So we learn and we grow and we have choice. But if we say, okay, I want my company to be able to do business in your country the same way as it does business in my country. So we need globalism, so all the rules are standardized and it works for the big companies, but it doesn't work for you. It doesn't work for the average person. And globalism isn't about the average person. You know, I often wonder, when you say, what's a government for? Well, I always say government's for the people, but that's not true. Government's really an association of people to make sure that all the money, the corporations and the moneyed people can work together so they won't fight, right? So there's a mechanism to control that process, but the people are left out of that process. And that's wrong. And that's, you know, becoming more and more true. And it's just becoming scarier. I wish that we didn't have this globalistic understanding. And we're seeing the problem with it. What if we're globalists, we're all working on a situation one way, and we get this COVID virus, and everything fails? Well, if we had 10 different countries, and they were all doing it differently, and one succeeded, you know, we could share that information. But when we start to move to a globalist understanding, there's not going to be that kind of situation for us in the future. So there's some things I'm politically against, and trying to do the best job I can to make sure that people have a lot of information to make those decisions.
So you are an information provider.
Information, correct?
Sorry.
Not my information. Most people are not going to hear what I'm telling you from me because I don't put myself out there. I have smart people, and we deal with 100 different talk show hosts. They're smarter than I am, and their information gets out there, and that's my goal.
Okay, so you said that today everybody have their own medium. They can say their own opinion. They can tell
Right.
what exactly they feel about things. They can say what they feel about the society
Right.
and the government. So before 20 years, this was not there. So you are saying that today everybody have this weapon and everybody can ask question government what is doing, why they are doing. You know, everybody is doing by using the mediums, the social networks. So do you think that the truth comes out when multiple people, you know, a lot of people are raising their opinions? You know, is that possible for a person who is ruling the country? to get the truth from the collection?
Boy, I'd like to think that it's possible. But when you get into a political sphere, you're surrounded by like-minded thinkers. You know, our politicians are all rich. You know, you don't have a politician that makes under $150,000 a year, where your average person makes $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year. So they're surrounded by people that aren't affected by their decisions. And the more money you put into politics, the more we separate them from us. So I don't know if they're going to be able to view us in the same way. You know, it's like saying I know the people in Africa, but I never visited Africa. I don't really know. You know, I can hear it, and if I'm not really close to that situation, I won't feel it. You know, I just think there's a separation there between reality and what they have in their own minds. And I think that's becoming worse and worse and worse because there's just too much of a separation between political sphere and the common people. Will media, because we're all connected now, we can share all of our ideas everywhere, will that help the world? Well, I'm seeing media companies like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, making political stances on things that aren't even really political. So if you have an opinion, Twitter says, see you later, bye, you're done, or Facebook, or YouTube. Well, is that getting out your opinion? I don't know. And if we keep giving them more and more power to dominate the sphere, because between Apple and what I
Windows,
use, Android,
Win,
or
Windows,
Google, let's
Windows.
say, Windows,
Yeah.
right? Between these two, they represent the whole market. They're the gatekeepers. You can't even get into their market without going through them. What does that mean for information flow? My fear is that they're going to continue to, dominate the market and make it so that that information flow communicating. So it's a question, right? Do they want us all to be able to communicate? Do they want us to see all this other people's opinions? I don't think they want to. They have to deal with it, and they're trying to hamper that. You know, it's a 50-50. Where do you see the world in 20 years? Where do you see the world in 20 years?
So what the world is going to be after 20 years?
More of the same in larger degree. What do I mean by that? People say there's extreme wealth. The rich are really rich, right? And the poor are really poor. Well, in 20 years, the rich are going to be even richer. There's going to be even more separation between the rich and the poor. Let me give you an example. You know, when they can, let's say, mine an asteroid, and the asteroid gives you $1 trillion worth of diamonds, let's say. It might be worth more than all the agriculture of most countries on an asteroid. Well, then you're going to have trillionaires. You're going to have more power concentration, not less. You're going to see more evil, but you're also going to see more good. Meaning, people are going to, it's like, I believe that the universe gets bigger, kind of grows bigger, shows you more dark and light. As you grow, you have to experience more of both to be well-rounded. I just see that into the future. You're going to have more evil, but more good. You're going to have both. You can't avoid that for your experience. You're going to have more wealth at the far end and more poverty. I wish that weren't true. I just see the world working like that.
So can I say that you are attacking with the information that you have on the on the people who know nothing?
No, I think that most of the people that we communicate with probably are media savvy. I wish we could pick up people from everywhere, the young. I wish there were a lot of high school students that would listen and college students, but they have their own media centers they look at. We're trying to grow all the time where we can really be much, much broader and have a greater audience, but we're just, we're small potatoes in the
Okay.
scheme of things.
Can small potatoes can change the world?
I think everything changes the world. I think what you think changes your genetic structure all the time. Your genetics, it even changes with your thoughts. So I think physical action, emotion, and your thought process are always changing things, and that energy goes outside of your body and changes things, right? So you're changing things every day. I think the best we can do is change the environment, for the better, the people in our proximity. You don't need to be changing somebody's life on the opposite end of the globe. You just need to be smiling and being happy and sharing your joy where you're at right now. And that changes the world.
So, how many people got affected because of your information?
Oh, we deal with millions of people. Probably there isn't too many people in the US that doesn't know our name. That doesn't mean that they listen to us, but they've probably heard of us on some level. So we probably affected a lot of people. I get emails regularly, people that can't believe that their life has been changed or that they had an awakening um, because of the content that's delivered on our network.
So, what is your network is about?
Mainly empowering information. That's not 80% of it'll be information that'll help you in some way, whether it's to become a better person, to be able to communicate with what you believe is your higher power or a higher power, how to handle, family matters or abuse matters, how to, think about society politically and maybe try to make changes there. Um, there's lots of information. We have 100 different shows every week, 100 different shows with different hosts every week, and they all bring something to the table. I really feel we have great programming. If the world would listen to a dozen of our shows every week, it would change their lives. Change their lives.
Okay, tell me how information can affect people.
Oh, first it's going to affect you in your mind. Then it's your emotions, and your emotions lead to, chemicals moving through your body. So if we can make you emotionally better, you're probably going to have less disease, right? So that's important. And that's what we try to do, tell people that life is going to be okay, that it is possible for change to occur, that it's good to be alive. Trying to reach that personal center for everybody. And that helps. And then just the knowledge that there are other people out there that think like they do. You don't want to be the only person. Okay, who does your hair? When did you get started?
You mean the video series?
Yeah. How long have
Uh,
you been doing that?
I started before 60 days. Till today, I did maybe 70 to 80 videos, and in that, there are 30 different country people.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's marvelous. You have,
Thank
I
you, man.
guess you have like a YouTube page, right?
Yeah.
What is your YouTube page?
Smart Cherry's thoughts.
I hope you email that to, or you Skype that to me, because
Yes.
I'll join. I'll become a member of your YouTube page. I
Sure.
love what you're doing. Well, what do you find rewarding in what you're doing right now? Has it changed your life?
Yeah, definitely it changed my life. At the same time, a lot of people coming into my show from different parts of the world, they are sharing what they have experienced in their life. And one person's information is not matching with the information of other person. So that is what I observed. Talking with different country people, knowing about different things. Every person have his own style, his own way of living and his own way of seeing at things, and one person's information is not matching. So when I'm observing, I came to know that there are a lot of people in the world living in different parts of the world, and they are doing different things. And I feel my YouTube channel is like a forest where you can find all the animals.
Interesting. Interesting. May I ask you what sort of religious bend you have? Are you Buddhist? Are you what kind of a religion do you hold dear? Are you a pantheist?
I'm a Hindu.
You're Hindu. Okay, so Hindu. Interesting. Interesting. I should have guessed that, of course, but interesting. Have you traveled a lot?
I didn't travel, I traveled with my thoughts.
You travel with your thoughts. It
Yeah.
is what you're doing. Are you turning this into a business or a job, or is this just your way of sharing information?
I just wanted to show world that there are, a human being can connect with other human being who is living in any part of this world. I just want to say that you can communicate and connect with any person on this planet. So I just want to be the example. I'm just 27. Maybe I'll continue, if I continue like this, I'll definitely reach 4,000 videos. I want to complete 4,000 videos with different color people, different thinking people, different talking people, different information contained people. So I don't know what happens, but I'm going to be big for sure.
I think you will be. I love that attitude. I really do. Congratulations. Congratulations on what you do. My hat's off to you.
I respect you a lot because even in your busy time, when I asked you to come to my show, you came and you said about a lot of things. You are doing a great job and you are inspiration for a lot of people who are watching this video, a lot of people who are connected with you because your contribution is like wealth to them. They have to use you, they have to grow in their life by getting the information from you because you are an information provider. You spend a lot of time in collecting the information, and your advices or your suggestions are like wealth to them. If they listen to you, definitely some change, like you said, there will be change, and you are the person who can change. When I was a listener in first 10 minutes, I was just listening to you. You was just talking like a flow. You are like a Niagara waterfall. You are just flowing like this. You're just flowing. I just want to be a listener because I never seen a person talking like this with enough information. You have enough clarity about what you are saying and you are very confident. I never seen any person being very confident about about the information that he has, and I feel great to talk with you.
So I appreciate you very much. You're courteous, you're pleasant, you're articulate. Thank you. Thank you. And I would be happy at any time in the future to engage you in many ways. Keep in touch with me.
Sure, definitely. I love you for coming.
Big hugs. Much love, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
You can. You can. Yes.
Have a great day. Change anything on this world, and I want you to change until the day you be alive on this planet.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to be thinking about you and sending you warm energy and thoughts of success and a very joyous life, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your time. Take care.